So do you also want to automatically generate documents? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to auto-generate documents in Google Docs when client info is captured via Elementor. So like you, I also use Elementor to collect the details from my leads. And now what I want is that as soon as we receive the new lead details or a new form submission is made in my Elementor, I'm just going to use OpenAI to generate me the content. What content? Like let's say someone filled out the Elementor form submitting their inquiry in the service they are interested in and the rest of the details. So we are just going to draft a proposal using OpenAI. And once OpenAI gives me the proposal, I'm just going to add that into a Google Doc and I'm just going to mail it towards my client so that they can see it and reply back. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Elementor, OpenAI, Google Docs and Gmail. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. In this video I'll show you how to automatically generate customized documents in Google Document whenever someone fills out the Elementor form. So whenever someone fills out all of this form, I'm just going to send them a mail something like this with the proposal. Alright, so to do this I'm just going to open a new tab and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. Now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and this is the amazing automation software using which we are going to create this automation. But before we move on further, I'll just show you something really helpful. This right over here is Pabbly community, where automation users, business owners and marketers connect. You can ask questions, share your workflows and get instant replies and helpful feedback from others who have faced these similar challenges like you. It's an active and a supportive space to learn and grow together. The link to join this is in the description box below. Make sure to check it out. I am just going to move on further and create this amazing automation. So I'm just going to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here we're just going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I'm an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And once I'm just going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and we're going to see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And once I'm just going to click on this access now, it is going to open the dashboard of my Pabbly Connects account. And to get started, I'm just going to simply click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me to select the flow builder. Alright, so over here you're going to see that we have two flow builders option, new and the classic one. So the new one is more modern, faster and flexible, but the classic one has a stable and familiar approach. So I'm just going to use classic one in order to create this automation. So I'm simply going to select the classic one, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I have already created in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to create a new folder, you can go to this create new folder button and create your own. I've already created many, so I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only, which is automations. And now I'm just going to name my workflow as this, which says auto generate documents in Google Docs when client info is captured via Elementor. And then I'm just going to simply click on this button which says create, and once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger. That's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, I'm simply going to select my trigger application, which is Elementor. So I'm just going to search for Elementor right over here, and then I'm just going to simply select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm just going to simply select it as new form submission, and now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we're going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Elementor and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So I'm just going to simply copy this webhook URL, then I'm just going to open my Elementor. So yes, this is the form which I want to edit, or you can say which I want to create this automation for. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to go towards this form fields, then from here we are just going to scroll and go for this actions after submit, and over here we're just going to add an action which is webhook. So I'm just going to simply add it right over here, and as you can see, as soon as we're just going to add it right over here, it is going to appear right over here too. So I'm simply going to open it, and now over here I'm just going to paste my webhook URL. And after pasting this, what I'm just going to do is I'm simply going to click on this button which says publish. Alright, so I'm simply going to click on this publish, and once I'm just going to click on this publish, yes, with this we have successfully saved this webhook URL, and with this we have successfully created a connection between Elementor and a Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission. For that, I'm just going to open this form right from here. Alright, so I'm just going to go towards this view page right from here, and I'm just going to open this form, and I'm just going to do the test submission. Let's see, for the first name, I'm just going to keep it as test, last name user. This is the email address. For the phone number, I'm just going to keep it as this. Let's say for the company name, I'm just going to keep it as Natural Glow Skincare. For the service, I'm just going to keep it as social media marketing, business goals as higher brand visibility, and target audience as women. And once I'm just going to enter all of these details, I'm simply going to click on this button which says send, and once I'm just going to click on this send, it is saying your submission was successful. Alright, so I'm just going to open my workflow, and we're going to see that Pabbly has successfully captured the response for the same. Now with this, we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now I'm just going to move on towards my action step. Now what I want is I want to generate a proposal something like this. So to generate a proposal like this, I'm just going to add my action step which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI and select it, and now for the action event, I'm just going to simply select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. In order to connect OpenAI, we have to go towards this add a new connection and enter this token. So to get this token, I'm simply going to open my OpenAI API key page, and after opening my OpenAI API key page, over here I'm just going to create a new key. For that, you have to go towards this create new secret key, name your key, select the project and click on this create key button, and your key will be created. I've already created many keys, so I'm just going to paste one of this right from here, and now I'm just going to click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our ChatGPT, or you can say OpenAI, with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the AI model, so I'm simply going to select it as GPT-4. You can select any another of your choice. And now it is asking me to enter the prompt, so I'm simply going to enter my prompt right over here. So as you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt, and now I'm just going to enter the details in this prompt so that we can generate the proposal. Alright, so to enter the details, I'm not going to enter it manually right over here by typing it like this, but instead I'm just going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Elementor as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we're just going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm simply going to map the name right over here, which is test user. Then I'm just going to move in further. I'm just going to map the company name. And once I'm just going to map all of these details, automatically these details will turn dynamic. So I'm just going to simply map this email. Then I'm just going to move in further. I'm just going to map the service interested in. So I'm just going to look for the service interested in, which is social media marketing. Now I'm just going to map the business goal right over here, and then I'm just going to map the target audience. So one by one, I'm just going to map all of these details, and using these details only, my AI agent is going to generate me the proposal. So I'm just going to simply click on this save and send test request, and once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, automatically within seconds and in real time, my AI agent is going to generate me the proposal. So I just have to wait for a few seconds till it is generating me the proposal right over here. So yes, I'm just going to wait for a few seconds. And as you can see, the proposal has been generated. Over here in the message content, you can see the whole proposal which has been generated for this Natural Glow Skincare business. Alright, so now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to add this proposal in a Google Doc. So I'm just going to add my action application right over here as Google Doc. And now for the action event, I'm just going to simply select it as create a blank document, because first we are just going to create a blank document, and then I'm just going to add this AI generated content in this blank document. So I'm just going to click on this connect to create the blank document. document. And now if you haven't connected your Google Docs, you have to go to its add a new connection and then sign in with Google. And now Pabbly is going to ask you to select the Gmail account. So I'm simply going to select the Gmail account, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Google Docs. And now Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Docs account, and now it is asking me for the document name. So I'm simply going to enter the document name as proposal for and then the company name. So I want this proposal for to be a static information. So I'm just going to enter it manually, which is proposal for, and then I'm just going to map the company name right over here, which is Natural Glow Skincare. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And after receiving this response, this means that we have successfully created a blank document, and I'm just going to add the details in this blank document. Once again, I'm just going to select my action application as Google Docs. For the action event, I'm just going to select append a paragraph to a document. I've recently connected my Google Docs, so I'm just going to go towards this, select existing connection and then save. And now it is asking me to select the document. So instead of selecting the document, I'm just going to map the details. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to simply switch on this mapping button and map this document ID. So I'm just going to look for the document ID right over here, and as you can see that this is the document ID. So I'm simply going to map this document ID. Now I'm just going to move on further. After mapping this document, I'm just going to insert the text, which is my AI generated text. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, we have received the positive response right over here that we've successfully added this text into a blank document. And now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to share this Google Docs with my lead, you can say, on my Gmail. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to first make this document a shareable one, then only I can share it, right? So to make this document a shareable one, I'm just going to use Google Drive. So I'm just going to add another action step, and now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Drive. For the action event, I'm just going to select it as share a file with anyone and click on this connect. Like we connected Google Docs, you have to follow the same, go towards add a new connection and then sign in with Google. I've already connected my Google Drive, so I'm just going to simply go towards this select existing connection and then save. And once I'm just going to click on this save right over here, it is asking me for the file ID. So once again, I'm just going to simply map it from the response of my previous step. I'm just going to switch on this mapping button and map this document ID. And once we map this document ID, automatically this field has turned dynamic and will change with every new response received. Alright, so now after mapping this document ID, I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received this PDF link using which I'm just going to share the mail. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to add another action step, and now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Gmail. So I'm just going to search for it and select it. And now for the action event, I'm just going to simply select it as send email and click on this connect. I've recently connected my Gmail account, so I'm just going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to go towards this add a new connection and then connect with Gmail and follow the same procedure like you connected your Google Doc. And once I'm just going to click on this save, it is asking me for the recipient email address. So I'm simply going to map the recipient email address right over here. Now I'm just going to move in further. It is asking me for many another details. So I'm only going to fill in the details which are required, like this sender's name. So as you can see that the name of my agency is this Spark Success Agency. So I'm simply going to enter this same sender's name right over here. And now I'm just going to move on further. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to enter the email subject. So I want the email subject something to be like this. So I'm just going to simply enter the same subject right over here. But in this email subject, I'm just going to simply change this company name. So I'm simply going to map this company name. So I'm just going to look for company name and map it. Now I'm just going to move on further. It is saying reply to. So no, this email is not a reply email. For the email content type, I'm just going to simply keep it as HTML. And now I'm just going to enter the email content. So now after entering this email content, I'm simply going to map the details right over here too. And after entering all of this email content, I'm just going to move on further, and now I'm just going to simply click on this save and send test request. And we're going to see that we have received the positive response which says result status sent, which means that we have successfully sent the mail. And now we're going to see that we have successfully received the new mail right over here. You can see the same name. We're going to see that these are the details, and also you're going to see that over here is the same document. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now whenever we're going to receive a new form submission for Elementor, automatically using OpenAI, which is going to generate the proposal, then that proposal will be added into a Google Doc. We're just going to make that Google Doc a shareable one, and we're just going to mail it towards my lead who submitted the Elementor Elementor form. So yes, all of this is going to happen in backend. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. And I'm just going to show you a real-time example for this. Let's say I'm just going to fill in this form as dummy user. Let's say for the company name, I'm just going to keep it as Pabbly Tunes right over here. Then I'm just going to move on forward. Let's say for the service, I'm just going to keep it as SEO. For the business goal, I'm just going to keep it as higher brand visibility and target audience as IT sector companies. And now I'm just going to click on this button which says send, and once I'm just going to click on this send, automatically these details have been sent towards my workflow. Now we are just going to open our Gmail and we're just going to go back and refresh and wait for the new mail which we're going to receive right over here. So I'm just going to refresh it. And as you can see that we have successfully received a new mail which says, let's grow Pabbly Tunes together. Or we're going to see the same details which we entered, right? Now I'm just going to open this proposal and we're going to see that we have successfully received a customized proposal right over here. So yes, this is no magic. This is the power of automation which we have created right now. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.